Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
Miss Matthews and I are here together today again to talk to you about requirements for graduation, about registering for school next year. So to get started, we wanted to talk to you about registration. So every child is required to be registered for school every year. We need parents to update their information, and we also need information updated about each child. So in order to register your child for school online, you would visit the Mobile County Public School System homepage. Once you get to the homepage, you'll scroll down until you see a box that says register. So click on the box that says register. For the purposes of this presentation, we are going to talk about online registration. And online registration is open for the 2021 school year. So click on online registration. For returning students, you scroll down and you click here for returning students. Once you click there, you're directed to a red screen. On this red screen, you scroll down, and there you see is a space for you to put your username and your password. Your username and password was recently shared with you by your school. It might have come home in a report card, or your child might have brought it home. So put your username and your password in there, and then you'll go into the site where you can update your personal information and your phone numbers and any information about your child. Keep in mind that this process will take anywhere from 15 to 40 minutes, depending on how much information you need to put into the site. Now, if you haven't been in a Mobile County public school in the past year, then you would need to go to New Student Registration. So you would click here. The New Student Registration page is blue. So as you scroll down, you would click on New to the District. So once you start there, then again, you'll put your information in. That takes anywhere from 15 to 40 minutes, depending on how much information you have to go in there. Now, once your information goes into the online registration portal, your record has to be sealed. So in order for your record to seal, let's see. It will seal automatically as long as nothing has changed. So in other words, you don't have a new address, you don't have a new phone number, and you don't need to provide anything to the school, then your record will seal from home. If something needs to be updated, if you have changed your address, or if your child is moving from one school to another for whatever reason, then you will have to go to your new school in person to seal or finish your registration. And your registration is finished when you provide documentation to your school. Most of the time, what that is an ID from the parent or the guardian, 2 proofs of residence, and oftentimes the new school will need to see the last report card that was issued to your child. That's also a good time to bring in any medical records or anything that you need the new school to see. Once your new school has received all of that information and they can seal your registration, then your records will show up in the new school. And then the personnel there can take over and create your child a schedule and so forth. So make sure that every year, parents, you get online and you register for your children for school. So once you're registered for school, for high school, that's when we need you students to get online and go into your guidance page to do your course requests. That gives your counselors a baseline or an idea to start with so that we can begin to build your schedule. So when it comes to building your schedule, Ms. Matthews has some information that she wants to share with you regarding graduation requirements.
Yes. And good afternoon again. Our ultimate goal is, of course, to make sure students are college and career ready upon graduation. So there are many requirements that must be met in order for you to be a full-fledged graduate of the Mobile County Public School System. So we'll begin by going over those items. First off, we have two different diploma options. We have the regular diploma, which is a 28 credit minimum, and we have what we call the honors diploma. That would be a 30 credit minimum, and you must have a minimum GPA of a 3.5 by the first semester of your senior year. Now, let's look at the different components of an Alabama high school diploma, otherwise known as the regular diploma type. Well, we have 4 credits of English, English 9, 10, 11, and 12. We then have our math component. You will also need 4 credits of math, algebra, geometry, algebraic connections, algebra 2, or algebra 2 with finance. Algebra with finance. Moving on to science, you will also need 4 credits of science, biology 1, physical science, and you have your choice thereafter of 2 science electives. Now, mind you, with English and math, these courses, and with social studies, as I will go on to in just a moment, these courses must be taken in 1 year. Each year, you will complete one of those. Now, with science, is a little different. If you would like to take more than one, that is your choice. However, with English, math, and social studies, you are required to take the appropriate one for your grade level. Now, social studies credits, you will need a total of 4 as well. You will take world history as a 9th grader, U.S. history 10, U.S. history 11, and your senior year you will culminate with government and economics. Now, additional credits that you will need: physical education, you will need 1 credit, and you can satisfy this credit in one of 4 ways. Beginning kinesiology, which in former years was known as Life PE, JROTC, the 1A and 1B, which would mean that you would take it for the entire year, marching band, or varsity athletics. Additional required electives that you will need: health and career preparedness. Health is usually taken in the 10th grade, whereas career preparedness is normally taken in the 9th grade. Additional credits that will be required: you will need what we call, or like to call, the Magic 3 elective credits, and they must come from one or more of the following areas. It can be from career tech education, like a business course. It could be from world language, which is your foreign languages, or it could be a fine arts course, such as a theater course, or it could be art, or it could be some type of band course or music. Also, general electives, you will need an addition of 6.5 general electives for a total of 28 credits on the regular diploma. Now let's look at the Alabama High School Diploma with Advanced Honors. Now, if you look at this closely, it seems like a little bit extra. However, the main difference to note would be that each of these courses are usually going to be at the honors level, AP which is advanced placement, DE, or dual enrollment, or international baccalaureate, which is IB. So again, you would need a total of 4 English credits, 4 math credits, which would be, you can start with algebra and geometry or the honors version, honors algebra 2 with trig, and here again, you would take an additional honors math elective. Also, you would still need 4 science credits, which would be honors biology as a 9th grader, chemistry 1 as a sophomore. As a junior, you would need to take your physics requirement, and then you have the option in your senior year to add in a course that you would like, a science elective, an honors science elective. Here again, you need your 4 social studies credits, and they would also have to be honors level or above, 1 each year. Physical education would still be a requirement there, which would still be the same, would come from the same areas. Your health and career preparedness requirements, and of course your 3 electives that must come from one of the following areas of career: tech ed, world or foreign language, and fine arts. As an honors student, you are required to take 2 years of the same foreign language. That is extremely important. Again, you must take 2 years of the same foreign language as a part of this particular curriculum. Again, you would need 6.5 general electives for a total of at least 30 credits. Now, many of you will far surpass 28 or 30 credits. However, these are the minimum guidelines that you must have in order to attain each of these types of diploma options. Moving on to additional graduation requirements, you must have an ACT score on file. All students are required to take the statewide ACT as a junior in high school. However, some students tend to transfer in as seniors, and some, for some reason or another, do not take that test in that particular year. And if so, the student still needs to schedule a test, and that can be taken during the national dates that are offered each year. Additional requirements would be the attainment of a career readiness indicator and or credential. That's important. How you can attain this would be one of 6 ways. Attaining benchmark on or at least one subtest of the ACT. The benchmarks for English, for example, would be 18, at least a 22 in reading, 22 in math, and a 23 in science. Earn a 3 or higher on at least one AP or IB exam. You may earn a college credit through a dual enrollment course, and that can be a technical or academic course. You may earn a credential or certification in a CTE course and pass the certification test within that course. Additional ways would be enlisting in the U.S. military or scoring a 4 or higher on each section of the ACT Work Keys test. Each senior or each student is required to attain this credential prior to graduating from Mobile County Public School System. Okay. Additional requirements would be completing an electronic career portfolio through the Cooter Career Planning System, which would consist of being able to do career exploration assessments, a resume, and a cover letter, and successfully passing the Alabama civics test, which is usually taken at the culmination of the U.S. government course. Students are required to pass this test with a 60 or above. Finally, we want to talk about just a little bit about mid-year graduation. Many students are wondering, well, how can I finish high school prior to the normal spring date of graduation? Many students do like to have this option. Now, you must qualify for this option, and there are guidelines that have to be followed in order for you to graduate at the end of the first semester of the senior year. First, you have to check with your senior counselor for deadlines in which to submit an application. This application must be submitted with a parent and student signature. Students or seniors with at least 24 credits prior to the start of the school year qualify for mid-year graduation. Students must be able to complete all graduation requirements and earn a minimum of at least 28 or 30 credits by the end of the first semester of the senior year in order to attain mid-year graduation. Students must also complete their courses or pathways within their chosen academy, and make sure that they complete the electronic career portfolio within the Cooter system. And finally, taking and passing the civics test. Now, there are 3 things that you must remember as a mid-year graduate: that you are not eligible to be the Val or Sal of your senior class. This may also affect any earning of scholarships. And finally, it can affect your participation in spring sports or any other competitions or performances. So, if that is an option that you would like to explore, please make sure that you reach out to your senior counselor to gain approval for this option.
Okay. So thank you so much. There's so much to know when it comes to getting a high school diploma. This information is available online.
It is.
Through the guidance part of the website. It's called an educational planning guide.
Yes.
And in the educational planning guide, you will find all of this information and more. So when you're making your course selections, it would be helpful to you to at least look over the graduation requirements so that when you're making your course requests, it's not just what you want, you're also requesting things that you'll need.
Yes.
So when you're making your course requests, make sure that you know that every high school has their course requests online now. So all of the counselors would really, really love it if you would go visit your high school's website and find the guidance page and click on your appropriate course selection sheet and fill out your course requests. Now, keep a couple of things in mind. When you're making those course requests, we do try very hard to honor your requests, but they are just requests. We, of course, have to make sure that you are meeting all of the graduation requirements first, so you're always going to be scheduled into your required courses first, and then we try very hard to get you into the electives of your choice. But electives are not guaranteed. Unfortunately, in most schools, you have certain electives that are more popular than others. So we do keep your requests in mind, but it's not always possible for you to get the class that you want when you want it.
Exactly.
But I do tell my students, most of the time, very rarely do I hear of a child that just never gets a class that they're hoping that they get. They may not get it in the semester or the year that they want it, but they usually get it at some point. So try not to worry too much about that. So do you have anything else that you'd like to add as far as the requirements or the course requests?
No, I think we've covered everything. I would encourage students, though, to be sure if you do have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your respective grade counselor, and they can answer any questions that you may have regarding the selection of courses for the upcoming school year.
Okay. So the last thing that I wanted to make sure that I said is, students, make sure that you understand and know that we are counting on you to do your schoolwork at this time. Whether you chose the online platform or the packages that you picked up from your school, please make sure that you're working hard every day to complete your schoolwork for this year. We want you to start next year in your next grade level successfully. So I know this is a challenging time for everybody, but keep working. Know that we're thinking about you and we're here, so email us if you have questions. We miss you. We look forward to seeing you again. Keep working. You've got this.
Yes.
Take care, everybody.